Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be taking you through my six-figure Instagram viral reel strategy. My name is Edirin Edewor and I am excited to share this with you where I was able to get a video of mine, an Instagram reel of mine go semi-viral, and in less than 2 days I was able to get five six-figure consulting clients to work with me solely off of this video. Okay, so, first of all, I wanted to share that as at the time of the recording of this video, the reel is currently at about 23,400 views and over 1,000 plus likes, and dozens and dozens of people who have shared it on their Instagram stories, which have actually helped to actually increase the number of views and so on and so forth. But I want to take you through the process of how I was able to do this. Okay, so there were four things that I did to turn one Instagram reel, which is the one I'm going to be talking about in this video, into a money maker. I hadn't done this thing before, but I decided to try out the strategy and see if it works, and it did, and it's definitely something I'll be doing going forward. Okay, so first of all, I want you to note that the highest number of views on any Instagram video I've ever done before was a little over 10K views as at the time of this video. And that was like, months and months ago. And this is my very first Instagram reel that is going semi viral. Although it's not up to 50K views or 100K views or even millions of views, but it is somewhat semi viral. A large majority of reels that are created on Instagram don't even get up to 300 views, not to talk of thousands of views. So having a reel that actually makes it up to 23K views is basically semi-viral. So of all the reels that I've done before, this was the first time that I actually had a reel that was going this viral, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I did. Okay, so first of all, the reel was less than 30 seconds long. So it doesn't have to be over a minute, it doesn't have to be something that's so long. It was less than 30 seconds long. And it was probably the easiest reel I've ever had to do because I wasn't talking, I wasn't speaking, I wasn't teaching anything, I wasn't saying anything at all. I was at a library and I was typing. I just set my camera to record me in time lapse motion. So it looked very sped up. So it was a recording that lasted about 4 minutes and some seconds, but after the time lapse thing was applied to it, it was about 27 seconds or so, which is just about the length of this reel that I created. Okay, so it was just me just setting my camera and just filming myself typing, and typing. It looks like I was typing really really fast, but it was just basically like it was on fast forward because I used the time lapse tool my on my phone. I used my iPhone to record. It wasn't something amazing. The lighting wasn't even awesome because it was in a library. It was in a tiny booth in a library where I was, and I was just typing and just doing my stuff. Then I added a bunch of words on the screen. So basically, the whole thing is, if you go check it on my Instagram page, you'll see that it was just a bunch of words on my screen, and that's what the most important thing was, all right? Because even though it was just me typing and then just having words on my screen that people had to read, what was in those words was very very important. It was basically a simple summary, a 27-second summary of my own story. And I couldn't play the video because I actually had done the recording of this thing before, but I realized that I didn't press stop or pause when the video for the reel had finished playing. So it was playing, I didn't realize in the background, and I was talking, so it really drowned my voice. I had to do the recording of this video again. Okay, so I'll just quickly tell you what is said on the screen for those of you who may not have the time or who may forget to actually go watch the video on my Instagram. It simply says, I struggled with depression all through my teenage years, and I had survived two suicide attempts by the time I was 20. I went to university for 5 years studying a course I didn't want. Still, I graduated at the top of my class only to struggle to find a job. I sent in over 500 job applications. I couldn't even get a job as a salesperson in a shoe shop. While job searching, I started businesses to make ends meet. 9 of them failed. finally started successful interior design and jewelry making businesses when I was hit with more bad news in 2016. I was diagnosed with early onset rheumatoid arthritis at 25. I lost my businesses and I lost myself until I wrote a book that became an accidental Amazon bestseller. I wrote another book 7 months later and it changed my life. Six-figure business, six-figure in dollars business, recognitions and awards, helping thousands of people around the world and making an impact while working from my home and moved to my new country. Then at the bottom it says, no matter how hard it is now, just keep going. It gets better. So that's the content I put on the screen. I just put it to make sure that it didn't cover my face, but it was just towards the right hand side of the screen. Okay. Then I highlighted the second to the last and the last pieces of content. I had the words put in sentence by sentence. I didn't have like one long, thing. So I had like a bunch of like clips that just had words in them. Each of them were individual sentences. So the second to the last and the last one were highlighted in blue and purple because that's where the main message basically was. And that's why I wanted to draw people's attention to. So that was the content. And then in the caption for the video, it was simply one sentence. I didn't have to write an entire story, which I find that most times when you do a reel, people don't want to read the entire caption unless your reel specifically says go and read the caption. All right. So the caption just basically reiterated the very last sentence in my post that said, no matter how hard it is now, keep going, it gets better. And that's the essence of the story that I was sharing. So if you notice, I wasn't sharing an educational clip. I wasn't sharing, something that's so mind blowing. I just basically shared my own personal story because, it's something I've shared before many times via text, but I haven't done it in real form. So I chose to share my story because it encompasses the work that I do and it also humanizes me and makes me relatable to a lot of people. Okay, so even people who did not think about writing books before, once they see this reel, we think, oh, you know what? I think I could write my own story as well because I've also been through a lot of things that I think would, really be nice in a book, which is what happened. And a lot of people sent me messages asking me how I could help them to also write their books. So the caption was simple. Then I researched the hashtags. I used hashtags that were related to my work and related to my own health struggle because I deal with early onset rheumatoid arthritis. So I use hashtag autoimmune illness, rheumatoid arthritis on my own terms, life by design, Amazon bestseller, self-publishing experts, which is basically what I do. Okay. So I use those hashtags so that people who are interested in self-publishing or Amazon publishing can find me, and people who are struggling with health challenges as well can also find me and be inspired to write their own books as well. So that's what the content, the reel itself was about. It was really, really simple and straight to the point, but I put a lot of thought into it. And anybody can actually do this as well with your own story. Your story doesn't have to be so over the top. It just has to be simple enough because guess what? Over the top stories are not always relatable. It's simple stories that everyday people like you and I go through that actually relate and touch the hearts of other people. Okay. So the second thing was my bio. My bio is optimized. This is my personal page where I posted it, although I shared this particular reel with my business page as well. My business page is called Self Publishing for Experts, which is clearly highlighted in my bio as well. So people check my personal page, they go to my bio, they see my business page, they click on it and takes them straight to my business page bio, which we'll come to in a little while. Okay, so when I made the reel, I had about 11,800 followers. Because of the reel, I added about 200 new followers in past, I think, 2 to 3 weeks to my personal page profile. But when you come to my bio, you can see my picture very, very clearly. It's not a picture of cards or a picture of a location, it's me, and it's a professional picture. Okay, so people can know I'm about business. Then, if you come to my name, you see my name, Edirin Edewor. Then you also see self-publishing expert. This actually is like a SEO optimization. It helps you to get found by people who are looking for you. It also says that I'm a business consultant, multiple Amazon bestselling author. I helped about 1,500 plus people get published in 4 years. Helped 300 plus of those people have become Amazon bestsellers. It also says what my business name is as well. So there's what I do there. There's also the people that I've worked with. So social proof is also there. It also says my business handle there, so that it's easy for people to find my authority content, which I don't normally post on my personal page. I like to be a bit more flexible. Again, it's a personal thing. It doesn't have to be like that for you. It's just a personal thing for me. Okay. Then I also put a bunch of pictures of my flags. I feel like these are part of my identity. I'm Nigerian, so the first flag there is Nigeria. I currently live in the UAE. I live in Dubai. So the second flag there is the flag of the United Arab Emirates. And my business is founded and established in the United States of America. So that's why I have the American flags there. It's not just because I just like flags. Each of these flags means something to me. Then finally, there's the link at the bottom. At the very bottom, you see the edirin.com/ here come the 30s. That's the link to the pre-order for my books. So this video is basically about talking about the high ticket clients. Even though I got a number of sales, and from pre-orders for my books and people who bought maybe online courses that they found, people who checked me out and then bought something that they saw on Amazon. There's all of that, you know. So having a link in bio really, really helps to increase conversions as well. Then at the bottom, the very bottom, you can see highlights. So the very first highlight there is global business tips for people who are interested in building global businesses. Um, Flyers where I've done speaking engagements, stuff about my, living here in the UAE. So that's about a personal slash lifestyle slash aspirational part of my brand. Then stuff about me in media. I've been on cover of magazines. I've been inside of magazines and newspapers. Articles have been written about me, and I have written articles. There's also my natural hair journey because I'm proud of my identity and my roots and where I come from. And hair is a very important part of all of that. Then there's also random thoughts. Sometimes I have random thoughts. They may be philosophical, they may be just, funny and playful, or even sometimes sarcastic. I have a very dark sense of humor. Sometimes I put it out there. So it's there as well. It humanizes me. Then bunch of stuff about awards that I've won or been nominated for, other kinds of recognitions are there. So this actually helps people to get to know a bit more about me. If you don't have highlights, you definitely want to have highlights for your personal brand. Okay. So that's the second thing. My bio is optimized. So when people, see my video and they say, "Who's this person?" They click on my bio. There's a lot of stuff to help them to get to know who I am really, really quickly and have an idea of what it is that I do. So that's for the bio. The second part, the third thing was the authority content. Remember that in my bio, I linked my business page, self publishing for experts. So when people click on it, they go to the business page here. So this is my business page, still me, still has my name. It still says here that I'm a self publishing expert and online business strategy, and basically reiterates what's on my personal profile. Self-publishing coach for online business owners, 1,500 plus books published, and for authors by my name. So I made sure I had my name as well. So it links all if people come across my personal page, they can find my business page. If people come across my business page, they can find my personal page. So it's vice versa. Then there's also a call to action there that says pre-order my new book now and stay. And then in this authority content link, this is my business page where I actually put in value posts. So posts that have to do with book publishing, book marketing, online business tips, and all of the other value that I normally give inside of my Facebook groups. I also have this business page to put them here as well. Okay, so if you want to learn stuff about book publishing, this is the page that you go to. This also shows my authority and shows that I know what I'm talking about. I am legit, and I do the work that I say I'm going to do. So all of this convinces people to want to then send me a DM to work with me, because if they don't get convinced, they won't send a DM. So the sales conversations that I got, I had 5 sales in 48 hours. They all happened in the DMs. First of all, I'm very clear on my message. I know exactly who I am, what I do, and who I help, to and the kind of transformation that I help people to achieve. So I'm very, very clear on that. It's there on my bio, it's there in the conversations that I have with people. Then, secondly, I have a system for taking cold leads into my pre qualification questionnaire. So, I have a simple questionnaire. It's a simple Google form, it's nothing fancy, that I would like to send to people who are interested in my self publishing services for me to get to know them a bit more, to understand what it is that they want. Because many times I find that people tend to ramble, or they don't have an idea what it is that they want. And in times like this, when I have, you know, a post that goes semi-viral or viral, it's very difficult to keep holding back and forth conversations with people, especially when time is of the essence. So having a questionnaire actually helps me to be able to, you know, lead them through the process of getting clear on what it is that they want me to do, so that when I see what it is that, based on the answers that they've answered in my questionnaire, I can then offer them the kind of solution that they want. Do they want a book? Do they want an online course? Do they want my publishing services? Do they want consultation? Do they want, book writing or book project consulting? Or they just want some other kind of clarity? Based on the answers that they give in the questionnaire, I'm able to then determine what it is that they want and then offer them the solutions. Usually, when somebody fills my pre-qualification questionnaire, I have about 24 hours turnaround time. I try as much as possible have not to wait more than 24 hours before sending them a response. When someone fills my questionnaire, I get an alert in my DMs or in my emails, and then I'm able to go through the questionnaire. It's very short, straight to the point, so it's not something that is so long and arduous. So I go through it, and then, by going through it, I'm able to tell what it is that they want. Then I send them an email, personalized email, to tell them, hey, thank you so much for filling your questionnaire. I got your feedback, and based on what you've shared, this is what I believe will be helpful for you. This is how much it costs. This is how to pay. And when you pay, this is exactly what will happen next. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you. So I send them that email. Then I go back to the DMs and I say, hey, thank you so much for filling the questionnaire. I've just responded to you via email. Please check your email for a subject line that says this, so that you can know the next steps. Okay, so that's it. So usually some people may forget or they may not see it on time. You want to follow up as well. Remember that the money is in the follow up. Okay, so that is how I have the sales conversations in the DMs. And I was able to send, my questionnaire to 8 people and send emails to 8 people. And out of those 8 people, 5 of them made payments within the first 48 hours. And I think that's a really good conversion rate. Okay. So this is how I was able to turn one simple 27-second video into 5 high ticket sales. It was basically, all of them were basically for consultations, and out of those consultations, 2 of them were upsold into my one-on-one coaching, and one of them was upsold into my membership, and the other 2 will be working on their book projects separately. So I think it's a pretty cool way to have, a paid consultation that leads to an upsell for something else as well. Now, if you're wondering, okay, how do I get clear on my message? How do I know exactly what to provide to people? What do I put in my questionnaire? How do I, have a conversation? How do I do this sales conversation? And what do I tell them in my emails? If you're wondering how to do that, don't worry. In the month of March, in my 1K Collective Inner Circle membership program, we'll be going through exactly how to actually make sales in the DMs of Instagram. So if you're listening to this and you're already a member of my Inner Circle, expect that. If you're not yet subscribed for the month of March, please do so. If you're listening to this and you don't understand what my inner circle is about, I definitely ask you to go to look for the link in the description, maybe in the bio or in the description or somewhere in this around this video. Look for the link, and maybe in the what you call it now, the description, maybe at the top or at the bottom or at the side of this video. Look for it and click on it to get to join the inner circle program. Okay. I look forward to having you. I look forward to helping you also develop a system where you can use Instagram reels and Instagram posts to get people to come into your DMs, and you can then upsell them to your products and your services as well. If you're watching this via YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me what you liked best, and tell me if you like to see more videos like this as well. This video was created specifically for members of my inner circle, but I chose to also share it with everybody else because sometimes you just want people to know exactly what goes on in their inner circle, and this is it. Okay, so if you like to see more videos like this as well, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you also have as well. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful time, and I'll see you in another video.